Hi everyone, so we're going to talk about factoring the GCF. The GCF stands for the greatest common factor, and we'll talk about what that means. I'll write it out for you just so you see the word. So 2 words you need to know. What is a factor? A factor is a number that is being multiplied. For example, if we have 2 times 3 equals 6, 2 and 3 are factors. If we have 3x squared, we can write that as 3 times x times x. 3 and x are factors. The greatest common factor is the biggest factor two numbers share. For example, if I take 20 and 50, both of these numbers can be divided by 10. 20 divided by 10 is 2, 50 divided by 10 is 5. So we say that the greatest common factor, the GCF, is 10. Sometimes we have polynomials and we want to factor out the greatest common factor. So looking at 16x cubed minus 12x squared, 16 and 12, the greatest common factor they share is 4. So I'm actually going to write this out expanded. This is 16x times x minus 12 times x. Since they both have a factor of 4, I can take it out. When I take it out, 16 over 4 is 4. And then 12 divided by 4 is 3. And then now I'm going to look at the variables. Here I have 3 x's, here I have 2 x's. They both share 2 x's, so I can take 2 out. So my final answer is 4x times x, and in the parentheses I still have 4x minus 3. And then this I have to write as 4x squared. Okay, so what we say here is the greatest common factor is 4x squared. How can you check your answer? You can distribute. If I distribute this back in, 4x squared times 4x, 4 times 4 is 16. X squared times x is x cubed. 4x squared times 3 is 12x squared. So as you can see, this was the original problem. If you struggle to figure out what the greatest common factor is between two numbers, you can do it in Desmos. So here you can see in this picture, I typed GCD. I put the numbers I wanted to find the greatest common factor of, and it gave it to me. So in this problem, I see I have 5x squared minus 10x. I can expand my variables. 5 is the greatest common factor, so I'm going to take it out. 5 divided by 5 is 1, so there's a 1 right here. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And then they both have an x, so I can take out an x. And I'm left with x minus 2. Again, I want to check my answer. Let me distribute. 5x times x, that's 5x squared. 5x times 2 is 10x. So it worked. And this is our final answer. This one, there's no numbers, there's just variables. We can see they both share a g. So we can take the g out. We're left with h, and then minus g, since we're factoring out the g, there's a 1 left. There's our final answer. Okay, the moment we've been waiting for. Here's a really big example. So here I say I have 42 and 63. Let's go into Desmos and get the GCD, the GCF, so 42 and 63. We see that 21 is the factor that they share. So we're going to factor out a 21. 42 divided by 21 is 2. 63 divided by 21 is 3. And now I take care of my variables. So I can expand everything here. Let's see what they share. They both have 2 K's, they both have 2 M's, and they both have a P. So I can take those out. So I have 21 K squared M squared P. And then I'm left with 2, I have 2 M's here, so 2M squared, minus 3, I have an M left. This is my final answer.